Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. Here are the stories that we're following today, June 22nd, 2013. From the Caribbean, Grenada's Prime Minister listens to concerns at bus terminal and the fish market. Jamaica MP wants $110 million compensation for Tivoli victims. In Trinidad and Tobago, breaking news, Ken Gordon stays. Also in Jamaica, 3 gunmen attacked police officer, 1 shot dead. Details on these headlines and more when we return.
Since we announced Sign and Drive with 0 out of pocket and low monthly payments, cars been flying out of Bronx Honda at a record pace. Whoa! New Accord with 0 out of pocket for $249 a month, or new Civics just $199 per month, or save thousands with 0% financing. You never had to leave the Bronx to get the best price on the Honda. Bronx Honda guarantees the lowest price in the Bronx. Bronx Honda, East Tremont Avenue. Visit BronxHonda.com.
Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. This segment of the news is sponsored by Total Caribbean Network. And I quote, Prime Minister, thank you for visiting us. No one has bothered to do so in years. Please do something about the rent for the booths. There are leaks in the building and water seeps through when it rains. End of quote. These were some of the complaints echoed by vendors at the St. George's Bus Terminal and Fish Market earlier today, when Grenada's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell paid an impromptu visit to the facilities. According to the Prime Minister, he had heard many complaints about the situation with the vendors, and so he wanted to pay them a visit to hear those himself and to actually see what is happening at the facilities. Many vendors thanked him for the visit and expressed pleasure that he took the time to see their situation firsthand so that the government can make an informed policy decision. Among the complaints was that many vendors considered the high rent for the booths, explaining that they were unable to make a reasonable profit at the end of the month, especially in this period of economic stagnation. Other complaints, though on a lesser scale, were sightings of water leakages in the facilities, as well as vendors wanting to be responsible for their own utilities. The Prime Minister pledged to take all their concerns into consideration and to speak with the relevant authorities, which he was able to do shortly after speaking to the vendors and passers-by. In an impromptu meeting with officials from the Port Authority, Prime Minister Mitchell shared the issues raised by the vendors and suggested possible solutions to those problems. He promised to work with Port Authority to address those as soon as possible within the context of the economic realities. In Jamaica, Member of Parliament for West Kingston, Desmond McKenzie, has demanded that government immediately pay over the $110 million in compensation to the victims of the 2010 incursion, arguing that the state seems more interested in holding a high-priced commission of inquiry than allowing the residents to move on. And I quote, 688 persons were submitted for compensation, including 1,295 documented complaints involving more than $110 million. Government has since accepted a proposal for a commission which certainly will be an enormous cost to the country at this time. But I have heard nothing about the speeding up the compensation of victims and their families after 3 painful years of waiting, McKenzie complained while making his contribution to the 2013 to 2014 sectoral debate in Parliament. According to the report from the Office of the Public Defender, at least 7 people, including a Jamaica Defense Force soldier, were killed in Operation Activity Gardens on May 2010. The government has disclosed its proposal for the term of reference of the commission and has asked the public to make their own submissions. However, Mackenzie is adamant the people of West Kingston would not be used for a show. In Trinidad and Tobago, Integrity Commission Chairman Ken Gordon said his meeting with the opposition leader Dr. Keith Rowley on May 15th was done in accordance with the Integrity in Public Life Act. Gordon's statement comes in the face of mounting calls from the government for him to resign. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar Thursday raised her government's concerns about the chairman's secret meeting with President Anthony Carmona. In his statement, Gordon described as absurd the charge that the meeting was part of a political conspiracy, adding, "If only for the record, I categorically deny." The chairman in his conclusion noted the inflammatory and highly responsible statements which have been made coupled with the distortions of fact are to be deeply regretted. He issued and read a 3-page statement explaining his meeting with Keith Rowley on May 15th, which concluded like this, and I quote, "The decision to meet with Dr. Rowley was taken without regard to any form of partisan consideration. It was the fair and rational thing to do, and it was not secret." The meeting was held in full accordance with the Integrity in Public Life Act, one of the laws of Trinidad and Tobago. A report on what took place at the meeting was made and preserved for the new commission when appointed to ensure full transparency. Also in Jamaica, gunmen staged a daring attack on a police officer at his Denby in Clarendon home Wednesday night. According to reports, the cop had just arrived home and was about to enter his house when he was pounced on by 3 men who opened fire at him. The gunshots reportedly alerted another police officer who went to the aid of his colleague. However, he too came under fire. One of the attackers was shot and injured in the exchange and was taken to the hospital where he died. The fate of the other 2 was not revealed. The matter has been reported to the Independent Commission of Investigations. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. We will be right back.
5 million customers use Leica Mobile for affordable international mobile calls, connecting over 2.5 million mobile calls daily, helping our customers stay in touch with their loved ones, whether they be in Asia, Africa, Europe, or the rest of the world. Every 5 seconds, a new Leica Mobile customer joins our growing family, helping you to make affordable international calls across the world. Leica Mobile. Call the world for less.
Stop the music! It's week 2 of our used car blowout month, and this week it's guaranteed credit approval. If we can't show you how to get approved, that car is on us. Log on now, GrecoAuto.com.
Since we announced Sign and Drive with 0 out of pocket and low monthly payments, cars been flying out of Bronx Honda at a record pace. Whoa! New Accord with 0 out of pocket for $249 a month, or new Civics just $199 per month, or save thousands with 0% financing. You never had to leave the Bronx to get the best price on the Honda. Bronx Honda guarantees the lowest price in the Bronx. Bronx Honda, East Tremont Avenue. Visit BronxHonda.com.
I can't believe your mom let you take your car out. This is awesome.
It's time to grow up.
You're crazy.
Little while
Go faster. Stop.
It'll all be alright.
I raised my son to be careful,
Hey, sweetie. Hey, Mom.
but just to be safe,
So don't you worry.
I got a Subaru.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Coleman Subaru, 1710 North Alden Avenue, Ewing, New Jersey, or ColemanSubaru.com.
Welcome back to Cannes. This segment is sponsored by Travel Span Vacations. Also in Trinidad and Tobago, neither Canada nor the Trinidad and Tobago government is accepting responsibility for the selection of the company scheduled to build the Penal Hospital. The report has been trying to find out why the Canadian conglomerate SNC Lavalin was given the contract to build a hospital, although it is embroiled in bribery allegations. However, political counselor at the High Commission of Canada, Laurent Houssier, said all matters relating to the tendering and selection process of the hospital and rehabilitation center should be directed to the Trinidad and Tobago's government. The multi-million-dollar hospital is to be built at Clark Road, Pinal. In his email response, Morel Housier said, and I quote, "On May 1st, 2012, the governments of Canada and Trinidad and Tobago signed a framework arrangement to expand cooperation between our countries with regard to the healthcare sector." On why SNC Lavalin was chosen, Morel Housier said, and I quote, "We ask that for questions on the tendering and selection process that you please contact the government of Trinidad and Tobago." But in a telephone interview yesterday, CEO of the Urban Development Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago, Kurt Ramlal, said Morel Housier must be mistaken. He says, "I think all questions that relate to the contract must be directed to the Canadian government because we had no control at all on the tendering or selection of this contract," Ramlal said. The Pinal Hospital and Rehabilitation Center is the brainchild of Prasad Bisesa, who announced in 2012 that the newly built hospital would provide state-of-the-art care for people suffering from non-communicable diseases. In April this year, the World Bank imposed a 10-year ban on SNC Lavalin Inc., a subsidiary of SNC Lavalin and its affiliates. The company may not bid on projects funded by the bank because of a scandal over multi-million-dollar bribes. A joint investigation by CBC News and Toronto's Globe and Mail found a division of SNC Lavalin had been using a secret internal accounting code for bribes on projects across Africa and Asia for years. In St. Kitts, Dr. Tracy Challenger always wanted to be a veterinarian. The Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine graduate says that as a child in primary school, her family always kept sheep and pigs. Rising early to take care of them before and after school was part of life, something that would influence her future career choice. And I quote, "I wanted to be a vet since I was 10 years old. There's no question about it," explains Challenger from her office at the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, where she's now the Chief Veterinary Officer for the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Challenger attended primary and high schools in Basseterre, later traveling to Jamaica and the University of the West Indies to complete a double major undergraduate degree in zoology and botany. It proved to be the required strong academic underpinning for her chosen veterinary career path. A scholarship from RUSVM helped her fulfill her early childhood dreams. As part of its long-term partnership with the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, RUSVM provides up to 4 full scholarships each year, qualifying local students to follow a veterinary medical degree or another degree program offered through the DeVry family of institutions. The scholarships represent a practical commitment by RUSVM to the people of the Federation to help build and strengthen in a highly skilled area, one that benefits all parts of society. And I quote, "By training local nationals to become world-class veterinarians, we can contribute to building sustainability in many sectors in the Federation, from agricultural practices to animal welfare, husbandry, food safety, and clinical practice. We are committed to ensuring our students have continuing access to best practice veterinary education offers," said Dr. Elaine Watson. The scholarships represent a firm commitment to ensure this valuable educational partnership continues to directly benefit students in the federations, as she stressed. In St. Lucia, construction has now started and development is well underway at the first eco-resort in St. Lucia at Freedom Bay, which is setting new standards in sustainability and style for the region. The government of St. Lucia is pleased that after a dry spell of 5 years, investors are once again gaining the confidence to start major developments. Aiming to set a new benchmark in ethical luxury, the 60-acre development and hotel is anticipated to open in March 2015. In St. Lucia, the Pitons represent the most prominent landmark of the island, and this prime site at Freedom Bay has lush tropical forests with endemic birds and trees with a white sandy beach within its own bay. The topography undulates upwards from the beach, offering impressive views of Petite Piton, Soufrière, and the Caribbean Sea. The resort will include 3 restaurants and a champagne jetty bar, a rainforest spa, and a wellness center, 1- and 2-bedroom hotel villas, and 12 private residences. The hotel's restaurants will offer international cuisine from fresh local produce with unique dishes centered on the concept of health and well-being. Hotel guests and owners will also be able to sample Creole cuisine prepared in a traditional fire pit in the Organic Garden restaurant. In Guyana, the government and the European Union on Thursday signed an agreement which would see some 23.35 million euros coming Guyana's way as part of the EU support in the wake of the removal of the preferential status previously enjoyed by African, Caribbean, and Pacific sugar producers in the EU markets. The financing is the penultimate one in what was a deal started in 2006, the Guyana Annual Action Program, to buttress the sugar industry from the expected fallout from the removal of the sugar protocol. To date, the EU has provided some 91.5 million euros as sector policy budget support. Asked whether they were satisfied with how that money had been spent, EU delegation head Robert Kipoki said they wish to see more of the money going towards the sugar industry. He noted that in the beginning they were operating under different circumstances with the funds meant to mitigate the effects of the removal of the preferential markets. Ambassador Kopecki highlighted that conversion of land, mechanization, private farmer support, and investment in pumps and drainage as areas in which they would like to see the money spent. Kopecki added that with this year's tranche and the next one, he believed that they could still do well in the industry once the money was fully utilized. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. Stay tuned.
Million customers use Leica Mobile for affordable international mobile calls, connecting over 2.5 million mobile calls daily, helping our customers stay in touch with their loved ones, whether they be in Asia, Africa, Europe, or the rest of the world. Every 5 seconds, a new Leica Mobile customer joins our growing family, helping you to make affordable international calls across the world. Leica Mobile. Call the world for less.
I can't believe your mom let you take your car out. This is awesome.
It's time to grow up.
You're crazy.
Little wildflower.
Go faster. Stop.
It'll all be alright.
I raised my son to be careful,
Hey, sweetie.
Hey, Mom.
but just to be safe,
So don't you worry.
I got a Subaru.
Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Coleman Subaru, 1710 North Alden Avenue, Ewing, New Jersey, or ColemanSubaru.com.